So if you do a master's degree, you have advanced knowledge and specialization, access to research, mentors, network. Uh, Cons are there is high cost of getting a master's degree, and there is no guarantee of immediate ROI. You get a job or you maybe don't get a job, so there is no guarantee of that. The growth potential is strong if aligned with career goals like AI research, finance, or management roles. Medium if the field is saturated or skill focused learning can be self-taught. Option two, join a startup. The pros and cons: rapid learning, exposure to multiple roles, potential of equity if startup succeeds, risk, high uncertainty, startup could fail, potentially lower pay initially, longer work hours, and high stress. And in case of freelancing, it is flexible schedule, location independent, immediate income potential based on skill and demand. So these kind of things it has done.
Mm-hmm.
So tree of thought visualization it has done. Okay. So for a master's degree, the plus is knowledge and network. The minus is cost and opportunity. Then for a startup, joining the startup, it is rapid learning and equity, risk of failure and stress. Then freelancing, it is flexibility and portfolio, income, instant ability, and solo growth, and evaluation of choice. So it has given us a tabular format without even asking because we asked it last time. So it assumed that we'll need that. And then I would choose to join a startup. Now, why I chose to join a startup? Because it offers highest growth potential, which is better than a master degree and probably even better than a solopreneurship because you learn in a team, you work in a team in a startup, and there is rapid learning. Even if startup fails, the experience is valuable for future ventures or higher paying roles. If you combine skills building, networking, and real world problem solving, faster than a master's degree and more structured than freelancing. So you learn systems and you get the skills as well in a startup. So joining a startup is always a better idea than going for a master degree immediately or going freelance.
Okay.
This sounds very convincing actually, right? Somebody who is in that situation where he is not able to decide whether to go for a master degree or the job, this actually sounds very convincing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was in that position, I would definitely follow this advice. Thomas, what do you think?
Oh, I'm too old to do it myself, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this sounds convincing, right? Somebody who is stuck in that kind of situation.
yeah,
This sounds
see,
very convincing,
this is a problem with AI. It sounds convincing even if it's wrong.
right? This is where the AI ethics and bias comes in. We'll cover it in the course later on, but this is what it is. So it also is asking if you want, I can draw extended view of thoughts showing paths after each choice to visualize where. Let's see what it generates. Uh, can you draw that? Okay, it's the same thing that it did.
What is the meaning of the different colors here?
No, actually, it is trying to write it in a different pattern, but it is ended up sort of writing in a code thing. So if you ask it to write some kind of code, it will write it in this kind of format where the code is colored properly, like we see in any IDE. So it has written it in VBNet, but it is not code; it is just simple text. But it we generate it in a container which is a VBNet container.
So the blue colors and red colors is nothing to do with the context given.
Yeah, nothing to do with the context. It is just plain text, but since it created in a VBNet, probably decision and next and step would be they might be the keywords in VBNet.
Okay.
So that's why
This
they are
is
colored.
just keywords from the language.
Yeah. So that's why they are colored automatically, but they have nothing to do with the answer that we want. It's
Okay.
just it could have been simple white text, but since it is in the container, it has been colored automatically.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what tree of thought is. To sum it up, the train of thought versus tree of thought, when to use each, we'll have that. The first thing is about chain of thought is when there are mathematical calculations or when you are debugging the code and logic and AI tells you to do something. If your logic is one way and your AI is suggesting to do it other way, then you should ask for the chain of thought. Then why do you think that I should change my logic and do what you are saying? So if the chain of thought it is showing you sounds good to you or it sounds valid or it makes any sense, then only adopt it, or you can just ignore that part and continue with your own work because there is a good chance that if you continue on your own work, you will get to it quickly. Then,
Okay.
if there are any sequential problems, you are solving one problem which leads to another problem, and then which leads to a third problem. If you keep solving problems like that with AI as your assistant, then you have to keep asking the chain of thought as well, because when you are on probably third or fourth problem and you want to take some reference of first or second problem, you uh, you should be sure that your AI assistant is also taking the same reference as you are. So chain of thought in that case would prove that you both are on the same page or not. So that is another use of chain of thought. And when you're doing something, when you're writing a code or probably a paper or something like that, and the accuracy is of absolute necessity. Yeah, when the accuracy is paramount for you, in that case, chain of thought is to be used because you can verify everything that it is saying so that you can quote it as it is or you can use it in your own ways. So it is based for linear step-by-step reasoning. Chain of thought is based for that. In case of tree of thought, we have business strategy decisions. Basically, wherever there are multiple options available, you can use tree of thought. The first case is business strategy decisions. Second case is creative problem solving, right? I have seen people, my friends only. I have seen one of my friend. He uploaded his bank statement for 1 year, and along with that, he also uploaded his income tax returns to ChatGPT. And he said that this is the outcome of my last year's, financial status. I want to go from here to. He said that I want to reduce the debt and invest my income better to be able to save more. What should I do? And GPT analyzed everything and gave it multiple options of how we can reduce the debt and everything. And after 1 year, he is in a better place. He did risk it all with by sharing his finances with GPT, but he is in a better place now just by following the options given by GPT without consulting any real human being who could have suggested him the same thing otherwise.
Okay.
So GPT did solve a creative problem creatively for him. Then you can use tree of thought for planning and forecasting. That is one way of using it. Another way of using tree of thought is when you are exploring the options and when all the options look like they matter or they are viable options, you can ask GPT to navigate through it for you and you can get a good picture of what matters and what doesn't matter. So tree of thought is best for explanatory things or comparative reasoning, and together they can create a comprehensive reasoning framework for stronger AI decision making. So you can also put together chain of thought and tree of thought, and
Okay.
create a proper framework that will give you a proper decision making ability. So
Okay.
that is what chain of thought and tree of thought is. Tomorrow, we will get into a point, into a thing which is about, uh, you know, advanced prompting patterns. That is real world implementation of strategies, which is mostly to deal with, making the AI work for you with
Okay.
its all the abilities, putting its best brains first, using all the abilities of AI and making it work for you in a way that you don't have to control everything. It will also give you the answers, and it will also give those answers. It will also give you the reason of those answers. It will
Okay.
also self course correct its path while it is working with you. So tomorrow we'll see that part, and I'll share the PDF of today and yesterday's PPT. There is a. Let me just change the screen here.
I've got one question.
Yes, Thomas.
For your startup app, you could
Mhm.
theoretically, you could also ask ChatGPT, give me four ways how to best start it without
Yes,
any of your own explanations.
yes, that is possible. Could we try that quickly?
Yeah. Is this also a three of thought, or is it something entirely different? Or
This is actually entirely different thing what we're doing. But what we're doing is we are not providing options. What we are doing is we are asking for options from GPT itself. Okay, so we'll get rid of this part. Hold on a second. We'll just copy the whole thing so we can remove the launching. Let's not say we are debating uh, launching an AI app. Let me just let it out. So we are building an AI app, and I need you to figure out, the launch this formula. Formula. What's up? Options I
all
have.
options?
Yeah, what are all options I have? And which one is the most viable and why? Okay.
Yep.
The prompt is we are
Uh,
building an AI app, and I need you to figure out the launch strategy for me. Show me what are all the options I have and which one is the most viable and why. Okay.
yeah.
So we are
Okay.
basically,
But this is nothing with three of thought.
it will
Three,
create
three
options, so
of.
it will become tree of thought. So it will create options on its own. So it will become tree of thoughts. And now what I've done is I said, which is the most viable option and why do you think so? So it's basically similar to the chain of thought as well. Okay. So we are combining tree of thought and chain of thought into this. And let's see what it comes up with. So this is the strategy it is coming up with. The potential launch strategy for AI app is the first thing is soft launch, the beta release. So description, pros, cons, and when it works best that it has given. It has given a quite a big list of things. Then it is evaluating viability of factors. So product maturity, target audience, growth goals, and resources and everything. And now it is coming up with its recommendation, most viable launch, stage, rollout, with community, and beta engagement. So basically, it is suggesting a lean method where you put out a minimum viable product in the market, let a limited number of people use it, and understand what problems they are facing while using your product. Once you solve those problems, then you move to a larger number of people. Then you understand their problems. Then again, you move to the larger number of people, and that's how you scale up the app step by step with limited number of people in it. And there comes a time where your app has resolved all the issues it might take, and then you can just publicly deploy it for everyone in the world, and it will scale up from there. So this is what it is suggesting. Yeah. So first it says private beta, invite selected group of people, early adopters and AI enthusiasts. Then community engagement, launch on Product Hunt, Reddit, or Discord to reach smaller communities. Then staged rollout, gradually open up by region. Then PR and influencers push to reach more people, and then iterate to use feedback to use success and features, and then refine your position. So this is a proven strategy actually. It is called as lean startup strategy. So this is what if it first gave us options here, right? Whether to
Yeah. And
we should
then
do a soft launch.
says what it
Yes.
would recommend to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
First it gave us options. So first is soft launch, then public launch, then stage rollout. These are the options that we have. And it gave us description, pro and cons of every option, and when it works. So it gave us some criteria also when to do what. So it knows that this strategy does not work for every single launch. So it has scenarios listed out for us, for which kind of app this kind of strategy will work. And then since we have an AI app, it is narrowing it down for that particular thing. So evaluating viability. And then it reached its recommendation where it is suggesting the lean method. So all this in just one prompt. If you send a follow-up prompt that explain it to me in better ways, something like that, or refine it even more, so it will even go deeper into this and give you a even deeper understanding of how you should launch your app.
Okay, and this is also called tree of thought or not?
Yes, since we have multiple options here, as you can see in this table, these are every row in this table is one option of launching a mobile app.
So tree of thought is
Yes,
every
this is since we
time
have multiple
you
options.
say, give me multiple option or compare multiple options, it's a tree of thoughts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. And then there is chain of thought as well because it also evaluated it does not actually explain everything step by step, but it also evaluated what are the things that matter for an AI
Yeah,
app.
you
And then it reached
also
to,
wrote something to explain everything in the beginning. I think this would lead to chain of thoughts or
yes. So I wrote this line, uh, for me, what are all the options I have and which one is the most viable and why do you think so? So because of this line, why do you think so? It is explaining it here, evaluating viability, and then it recommended this.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Now I learned a bit about chain of thought and tree of thoughts, and now I understand it much better.
Mhm.
Great.
Great.
Great. Good to know that, Thomas. Good to
Me too.
know that. Yeah, but that's okay. Now you know how to control that. Even if you get the wrong answer, you know how to reach the right answer.
Yeah, but you have to test it all. You can't believe anything the AI says. You have to test it and prove it.
Yes, you have to be aware. You have to trust yourself only.
Okay.
So
Uh,
we have a assignment for today as well. So I'll share that in the group again.
Okay.
Okay. And tomorrow try to finish as many things as possible, because tomorrow once we get into this prompting thing, we will be able to we'll be able to get much better answers from ChatGPT and any other AI model, so that we'll be in a position to jump into the project structure and everything.
Okay.
One day we will spend 2 hours. We'll spend entire 2 hours building a basic web application using Cursor, right from scratch, from ideation to a level where you can deploy it online. Okay. It will be a very simple application. It won't be something very extraordinary, anything like that. But we won't write a single line of code with our hand. We'll get everything done from an AI module, including the
In-
backend, creating the database schema and everything.
Instead of using cursor, can we do it with
Mhm.
VS Code using Copilot?
Yeah, we can do it with VS Code
Thomas?
using Copilot. I just have to install it
Okay.
on
I
my
just
Otherwise,
want to
we
ask
would to
Thomas.
have to install Cursor AI.
Yeah, for practice then. Yeah. So basically we are working with Copilot. So it would
I
be
think
Okay,
I
fine.
will do this in a few weeks or next week or when I find the time, but
Mhm.
no problem.
So Thomas, what do you think we should go with cursor or VS Code using Copilot?
for now, just VS Code Copilot.
Okay, great. Yeah.
A short demo of Cursor would be interesting later.
Yeah.
No problem. Actually, Cursor and VS Code are the same thing, just that
Mhm.
Cursor is a wrapper of based on VS Code. So it looks and feels the same, but in VS Code you have Copilot, and in Cursor you have all other AI models. You have GPT, you have Gemini, you have all 10, 15 different DeepSeek and everything, 10, 15 different AI models working for
Okay.
you.
DeepSeek is
See,
missing in Copilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in
Yeah. So
Copilot,
DeepSeek
you
is missing
also
in
have
Copilot.
most of the AI models.
Yeah.
If I look here, I get GPT-4o, GPT-4o, GPT-5 Mini, Claude Opus 4.1, Claude Opus 4, Claude Sonnet 3.5, 3.7, Thinking, Claude Sonnet 4, Gemini 2.0 Flash, Gemini 2.5 Pro, GPT-5, O3
Right.
Preview. So
Nearly the
mm,
same basically. Yeah.
Nearly the same. Yeah.